do not appreciate you speaking to me that way at drop-off and accusing me of not picking up the medical supplies due to cost. Yes, money is very tight at the moment. I had to let my attorney go because I am pregnant and had to stop working. I was unaware that you had to quit your job. Are you having complications with the pregnancy? Of course not. My baby and I are very healthy and none of your concern. But growing a baby is hard, and I needed to take it easy. I understand that pregnancy is difficult, but our court order states you are responsible for the first $1,000 out-of-pocket costs for medical. You paid for everything last year when I wasn't working. Why is it different now? You insisted on having prescriptions at this pharmacy. We will pay for it, but you will be ordered to reimburse us. As we approach mediation this upcoming week, I feel as though I am at a major disadvantage due to my inability to pay for an attorney. I am a pregnant mother and am doing the best I can. I understand that Michael is using my financial situation against me to try and take my kids from me, and I know I can't prevent him from dragging me to court over this. I was hoping you would be willing to send me whatever he has planned to demand out of mediation so I can prepare. I also want to make it perfectly clear that I will not agree to change anything about our case. Both of my children should be able to continue going to the same school, doctors, extracurriculars, and everything. They deserve to stay in the house they have lived in for a year now. Also, I may have to end the Zoom call for mediation abruptly due to my daughter's health condition. I apologize in advance if something comes. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining me over Zoom today for mediation. Let's remember that we are all here for the best interest of the children and not to fight or throw insults at one another. We will start off by going over the GAL's report. In regards to the GAL's report, I would like to immediately state that there is no meaningful information included. This paper was submitted at end of business day yesterday and reads as if the GAL filled out an online template. I would like to disregard this entire report until a judge can order a competent GAL to conduct a thorough investigation into what is best for the children. I have no issue with the report. It states we both are doing the best that we can in light of a serious illness that is challenging to control. How well could she gather that when she never even had a home visit for either party? Honestly, I am already feeling extremely attacked. I don't appreciate being ganged up on by my ex and his attorney. We all know I will not agree to my children residing with Michael. What are you hoping to get out of this today, Helen? I want everything to stay the same, and I want to be able to add the children to my now husband's health insurance so that they can have good coverage. My client had filed for primary custody and sole medical decision-making authority, and we will stand firm in that demand due to the blatant neglect taking place in the mother's home. But our goal today is to agree to a set of guidelines regarding the children's health. And what does that look like according to your client? My children need proper medical care. If their mother is unable to provide this, I will happily take over that aspect. My son has been but where the most concern lies is Helen's apparent disregard for the seriousness of our daughter's diabetes. Consistently mismanaging her levels will cause lifelong consequences for our child. My client is requesting that the mother agree to these standards of care directly from the doctor's recommendations until we are able to go before the judge. The most important standard of care for daughter is that she is to be in her normal range of levels at least 70% of the day. I'm sorry, but I don't understand what you are meaning by 70% in range. I can't keep 70% of her blood sugar in a certain range. I don't understand what you are asking me to do. I'm sorry, what do you mean by 70% of her blood? What about the other 30%? You would keep her glucose readings within the range given by the doctor at least 70% of the day. That involves correcting and dosing with insulin at the correct dose and time, and ensuring her equipment is functional. That's not what you said, though. You said keep 70% of her blood glucose in the correct level. You are making this extremely complicated and confusing, and this is exactly where our issues come from. I only take advice from the doctor, not you. I think you may have just misunderstood him. I didn't misunderstand anything. I'm not stupid. He is making up treatment plans when he is not trained in the matter to attempt to paint me as incompetent. Ma'am, I believe you are being intentionally obtuse about this. It clearly states keeping her in the correct range 70% of the day. I am not doing anything wrong, unless fighting for my child to have the best life possible is wrong. I am the one who deals with this on the daily. I am the one who works with the school on her 504 plan. I am the one who does it all to ensure my kids are taken care of. You're lying. Please, we have been here arguing the same things for hours now. Let's just be honest and agree on a standard of care for the children. You can't speak to me like that. I am not lying. I have primary custody. Michael wouldn't even begin to know all that I do. I am more than happy to call the school right now to confirm that she does not have a 504 plan like she is supposed to. We can also ask about all of the excused absences while we are at it. I am scheduling the appointment to create her 500 for today, actually. Ma'am, whether or not you are being intentionally difficult about this situation, I believe we can all agree that our main goal is to keep the children healthy. Am I correct? Of course, there's nothing I wouldn't do to give my children a healthy and happy childhood. I know I'm here by myself with no attorney, but I don't need an attorney to prove that I am a good mother and parent. Wonderful. Then let's allow the other party to tell us what they believe the standard of care should be, especially regarding your daughter, so we can all focus on what really matters. Thank you. Our first standard would be that all of daughter's medical equipment must not be removed for any reason, specifically not to bar the father from accessing data on her health, unless it is time to change the equipment. He will just say that I'm breaking order whenever I change her pods then. We are happy to include that you have a window of less than 4 hours to place a new piece of equipment when necessary, so that you will not have to worry about being falsely accused of breaking the order. Do you agree to that? That's what I do already. So yeah, of course. I want everything to stay the same. Wonderful. The next standard is to pick up all prescriptions and new equipment within 7 days of the refill date. This is simply to ensure no one ever runs out of the necessities. Is this all going to be just things I already do? It just makes things more clear if it's written down and specified. Do you agree? Obviously. Great. And the main standard is to keep daughter's levels in range at a minimum of 70% of the time, barring sickness and extreme circumstances. What just happened with that? We didn't push for primary custody or medical decision-making at all. It was all just empty promises and excuses. Mediation isn't for pushing. She had her mind made up that she was not budging to any demands. But has she ever in the past year had a 70% success day? No, but she didn't agree to 70%. She agreed to the doctor's recommendation. And according to the medical paperwork I have from her endocrinologist, she expects to see her in range at this point at least 70% of the time. What you need to understand is that we are allowing her to hand you sole custody with this agreement. We have it in writing that she now acknowledges what the standard of care should be. When she fails to meet it, which we know she will, a judge will be much more likely to give you primary custody. And did you change daughter's endocrinologist? I told you I was going to. She was supposed to have her appointment today, and I was told when I got here that you pulled her. When does she have an appointment with her new one? She has one this afternoon. And you didn't think this was something I should at least be told about. I took off for the first half of the day and rescheduled appointments so I could be at this appointment. And I can't push my meeting again. You don't have to be there. I am perfectly capable of handling it, and I will let you know how it goes. Adrienne is off today. She will be there in my place. She is not welcome to attend. She will bring our signed power of attorney if there are any issues. She will be acting on my behalf since you failed to inform me of these changes. I am not liking the numbers that I am seeing. Even right now she is reading at around 350. And I'm not seeing where she is being dosed for the highs. When are you treating her? We treat as soon as she hits over 135. We find that waiting until she's closer to the higher end of her range isn't as effective. That's great. It's good to find a schedule that works best for you. That isn't explaining the constant highs without treatment, though. Helen, you guys don't treat her until she is over 250, right? Yeah, that's when we treat. Why would you let her get that high without dosing her? Well, that's what my alerts are set at. So I don't get notified until she is at 250. Then change your alert. That isn't acceptable.